For thousands of years, gold has represented power. Empires rose around it. Wars were fought over it. Entire monetary systems were built upon it. Even today, in an age of digital transactions and invisible money, central banks quietly accumulate gold as if it still holds the ultimate secret. But here's the mystery. If gold is so important, why is the modern financial system not officially backed by it? And if gold no longer backs money, why do governments and central banks still hoard it in massive vaults? Now add one more layer. In 2009, a new form of money appeared, not backed by gold, not issued by a government, not stored in vaults, but secured by mathematics and distributed across the internet. That invention was Bitcoin. And since then, something subtle but profound has been happening. Crypto doesn't just challenge fiat currency. It challenges the hidden gold control system that has quietly shaped global power for over a century. To understand how, we have to rewind the clock. For most of recorded history, money was gold or silver. Its scarcity gave it value. Its physical nature limited supply. Whoever controlled gold controlled trade, armies, and empires. In the 19th century, the global financial order formalized this power through the gold standard. Nations pegged their currencies to fixed amounts of gold. This created trust in money, but it also centralized power. Because here's the catch. Gold doesn't move easily. It sits in vaults. And those vaults were controlled by central banks and powerful financial institutions. The modern era of centralized gold power crystallized after World War II under the Bretton Woods Agreement. The US dollar became the world's reserve currency, convertible into gold at $35 per ounce. Other currencies were pegged to the dollar. On paper, gold still backed money. In reality, power had shifted. Gold was concentrated in US reserves. The dollar became the intermediary. Global trade ran through American financial channels. Control had been consolidated. But this system contained a fatal flaw. The US began printing more dollars than it had gold to back. Foreign governments noticed. They started redeeming dollars for gold. And by 1971, the pressure became unsustainable. President Richard Nixon ended dollar convertibility into gold, a moment known as the Nixon shock. Gold was officially removed from money. But was it really? After 1971, the world entered the era of fiat currency. Money was no longer backed by gold, it was backed by confidence. Yet something strange happened. Central banks did not sell their gold. They accumulated more. According to the World Gold Council, global central banks still hold over 30,000 tons of gold reserves today. If gold no longer backs currency, why hold so much of it? Because gold remains the ultimate reserve asset. It is the insurance policy of the monetary system. Even though currencies float freely, gold acts as a silent anchor, a psychological and strategic fallback in case fiat systems destabilize. Meanwhile, another system quietly emerged, financialization. Instead of direct gold convertibility, we got gold derivatives. Paper gold. Futures contracts. ETFs. Institutions like Federal Reserve and global banks shaped liquidity flows, interest rates, and asset bubbles, while gold prices were influenced by complex financial instruments far removed from physical supply. Gold became part of a managed perception system. Its price signaled confidence or fear. But access to its true power remained centralized. Until crypto. In 2008, during the global financial crisis, trust cracked. Banks failed. Governments bailed them out. Money supply exploded. And in the midst of that chaos, a white paper appeared under the name Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin was born. Its design was radical. Fixed supply, 21 million coins. Decentralized network. No central authority. Transparent ledger. Bitcoin didn't require gold backing. It replicated gold scarcity digitally. And here's the critical shift. Gold scarcity is physical. Bitcoin scarcity is mathematical. Gold can be stored in vaults controlled by states. Bitcoin can be self-custodied by individuals anywhere in the world. For the first time in history, scarcity was portable, borderless, and resistant to central confiscation. The hidden gold control system relied on vaults, custodians, and sovereign control. Crypto removed the vault. This wasn't just technological disruption. It was structural rebellion. Since Bitcoin's rise, central banks have reacted carefully. They dismiss crypto publicly. But they accumulate gold privately. Why? Because crypto exposes something dangerous. If value can exist outside centralized vault systems, then monetary power can decentralize. Gold historically acted as the ultimate hedge against fiat failure. Now Bitcoin is often called digital gold. When governments print aggressively, both gold and Bitcoin tend to rise. When trust erodes, capital flows into scarce assets. The pattern repeats. Monetary expansion. Asset inflation. Crisis. Hard asset surge. But crypto introduces a new variable. Unlike gold, Bitcoin transactions cannot be easily restricted through physical control. Unlike gold, supply is algorithmically transparent. Unlike gold, settlement doesn't require intermediaries. This challenges not only fiat currency, but the very architecture of reserve control. Governments attempted predictable responses. Regulatory crackdowns. Exchange restrictions. Tax reporting enforcement. Attempts at central bank digital currencies. The rise of CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, signals a countermove. A digital system, but centrally issued and programmable. The irony? Crypto created decentralized digital scarcity. CBDCs aim to create centralized digital control. The same pattern repeats. Innovation decentralizes power. Institutions attempt to re-centralize it. Gold was centralized through vault systems. Fiat was centralized through banking systems. Crypto threatens both. So the question becomes: can decentralized scarcity coexist with centralized monetary authority? Or does one inevitably undermine the other? Look at recent data. Global debt exceeds $300 trillion. Central banks continue gold purchases at record levels. Meanwhile, Bitcoin adoption grows across emerging markets where local currencies weaken. The pattern mirrors history. When monetary trust erodes, people flee to hard assets. But now there are two competing hard assets. Physical gold, controlled and stored. Digital gold, distributed and portable. The competition isn't loud. It's structural. Gold represents legacy power concentration. Crypto represents distributed monetary sovereignty. And as economic uncertainty rises, this tension intensifies. 1. Gold never lost its strategic role. Despite fiat systems, gold remains the ultimate reserve insurance for central banks. Its control underpins global financial stability more than publicly admitted. 2. Bitcoin replicates gold scarcity without central custody. Crypto removes physical bottlenecks. It introduces trustless verification and decentralized ownership, a direct structural challenge to centralized gold vault power. 3. The real battle is over monetary sovereignty. This isn't gold versus Bitcoin. It's centralized scarcity versus decentralized scarcity. And history shows that control over scarcity defines control over power. Throughout history, monetary transitions have never been smooth. The shift from gold to fiat created decades of inflation cycles and debt expansion. The shift from centralized scarcity to decentralized digital scarcity may trigger even deeper systemic adjustments. The question is not whether crypto replaces gold. The real question is: what happens when individuals can hold a form of monetary power outside state-controlled vaults? And how will institutions respond if that power continues to grow? If this analysis expanded your perspective, subscribe for deeper breakdowns on hidden monetary systems, global debt structures, and financial paradoxes shaping our future. Because understanding money isn't optional anymore. It's survival.